Greetings and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. I wanted to do kind of a look ahead at 2025. What do I want to accomplish here on the channel? So this is going to be reasonably short, I hope, maybe 10 minutes at most, because it's mostly going to be, or exclusively going to be, me on camera. So I don't like to do this very often or for very long, but in this case I felt like it was a good opportunity to kind of try to explain the status of the channel right now and where I'd like to see it get to by the end of 2025. So, brief little history. I started in 2022, really started in May-ish, late April. Officially, I think I started it as far as signing up for the channel in March, but I didn't really do much initially. And since then, so we're talking a little more than 2.5 years, I guess. We've got 3,630 or so subscribers right now as I'm doing this. January's been pretty good so far in terms of getting new subscribers, so thank you to everybody who has subscribed recently or everybody else who has subscribed in the past and is checking this out. I appreciate your support. Subscriptions and views and things like that are how I gauge whether or not you guys are actually enjoying what I'm doing. The comments also help. I love getting great, good feedback and things. People pointing out, where I made a mistake because, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm a human too. So all of that is appreciated. I'm very happy with the way things have progressed on the channel. But for 2025, I wanted to change things up a little bit. Not so much change as maybe enhance is how I'm trying to approach it. So I did create a new open, which I'm sure you guys have seen if you've watched any of the videos that have come out in January so far. They all have the new opening. I got rid of the static channel changing thing was how I envisioned that in my head. Maybe it didn't work out as well as I thought, but that was kind of the staple there for a while as far as my open. And so now I've got a much more. It's kind of long, maybe I'm always wondering if it's too long or not, but it's a little bit long, but it's got a lot of little scenes from various conflicts, and I also want to do one for the sports side, which is something I'm going to try to resume doing. It's been a little bit since I've done a sports video. I want to get back to doing those, at least on a semi-regular basis. The issue I've had with sports games is that they're more project-based. So, I can show you how to play dead ball, for example, in a video or two, but to really get the most out of sports games, you typically want to do something that's a little bit longer and progresses, episodically, I guess you could say, in a series of gameplays, whether that's a season replay or you're playing out a playoff series or whatever it may be. Typically, they're longer than just one-off stuff. So, with that in mind, I may do some things in that vein. And you'll see some of that, hopefully, in the not-too-distant future. February, I would assume, will probably, maybe even before February, depends on how much time I have. Work has been cutting into my time a little bit, but I'm doing my best to continue to put out as much content as possible. I have a big backlog of games that I want to get through. So there are times when I do a first look and I'm planning to play the game and I don't get to play it because other things come in, or I get involved with something, or work comes up, or real life intervenes, things like that. But what I really wanted to talk about here, since I've been rambling for a little bit and I did not want to make this too long, is what I plan on doing in 25. So midweek magazines will continue. I need to start doing some gameplays of these magazines I'm looking at. I just got the latest Against the Odds with Rome Inc. 2 in it. And I've always wanted to do Rome Inc. because I have that. I would like to do a video of that and maybe Rome Inc. 2 after it. So that will be continuing. Midweek magazines is not going away. It will continue, and I will hopefully do more gameplays in addition to just kind of looking at all the great war game magazines, current and past, that are out there. Solitaire Sunday, Solo Sunday, that will continue as well. You'll be seeing Habsburg Eclipse pretty soon. This weekend, I'm assuming, hopefully, unless something gets in the way. And that will continue. I have a ton of solitaire games, and I will continue to do that. I enjoy doing that, and that's more episodic, so you will see typically several videos on the same game coming out once a week on a Sunday. That is the plan, is to continue doing that. As I mentioned, we have the sports thing. That won't be every week, but it will probably become somewhat episodic, and then I'll do a game and do several videos on that game over a period of time, and then maybe we'll have a gap, and we'll do something else after that. What else? I'm going to try and start a new series, or actually 2 new series. One, the titles are still a little unfirm and tentative, I should say, and one of those would be in the library or on the shelf. I haven't decided which way to go, but that's going to be me taking out some subset of my games, whether it's divided by publisher or theme, subject, something along those lines, and show them and talk about them, and maybe let you guys, the viewers, choose one of those games for me to play, and do the full treatment with probably a first look and a gameplay video and a review. Reviews are something else that I'm planning to do more of this year. Typically I just do gameplay, first looks, gameplay, etc. And I skip the review portion, but I think reviews are important. I like to show gameplay videos only because before I was doing the channel, I always sought gameplay videos so I could see how the game plays and maybe pick up how to play the game. I mean, the rule books are always, of course, very, very useful. Some are better than others, of course. Some are excellent, some are a little shaky, but you do want to use the rule books when and where possible, but being able to see it, especially if you're a visual learner. Now, I'm a big-time reader, so I don't consider myself a visual learner, but I am fully cognizant of the fact that there are many other people who are visual learners and maybe benefit from me doing a gameplay video that shows how to play the game. So I will continue to do that, but that has kind of cut into the desire to do a review where I just say, this is the game, this is what it's about, this is my thoughts on it, and I recommend this game or I don't recommend this game based on X, Y, and Z. So I do plan on doing some more of that. I'm an easy grader in general, so I'm not going to tear anything apart most likely unless it's really terrible. But my experience has been that I can usually find some kind of hook with a game. Now, there are games I enjoy more than others, of course, and I will certainly point that out. The other thing I want to do is something called Hex Encounters, or maybe Hex Encountered, kind of a pun, play on the channel name. And I'm still working on the theme for that one. It could be just as simple as games with a similar theme. So we may look at something that has a specific mechanic, and maybe look at several games that share that mechanic, maybe by different designers or different companies or what have you, or maybe the same. Just kind of in that vein, or looking at a specific battle or conflict and saying we're going to do a run of 3, 4, whatever games in the same thing, and maybe it's tactical games in the Pacific theater of World War II, or it's Civil War, brigade level, or Napoleonics at some variant, or some specific battle, Waterloo, or Gettysburg. There's a ton of games on Gettysburg as well. So you get the idea. It's just kind of evolving in my head, so I don't have anything set in stone as far as what I'm planning, aside from the name, which one of the viewers actually mentioned doing a series, and I'm kind of stealing his idea, and I don't have the channel up in front of me right now, so I can't look and see who it was to give him proper credit, but you know who you are if you're watching, and I just want to say I appreciate the idea. I had actually been thinking along those lines, but more in terms of, it would have been cool thinking about the that as a channel name when I first was trying to brainstorm names for the channel, and I came up with Hexed and Countered. Because I always, one of the channels I watched and still watch was the Player's Aid. And I always found it funny that depending on how you jammed it together, you can make it be the Player Said or the Player's Aid. So I've always had what could I do with my name kind of running through my brain. And that came up recently, and then just 2 days later, bang, as if we were like psychically connected. We got a comment with that name in it. So I am definitely going to do it. That's kind of like the cosmos telling me you should do this. This is good. So as I said, I've just been rambling. It's been almost 10 minutes or so. So I'm going to wrap this up. I would like to hear some feedback from you guys. So I do enjoy the comments. I've actually been considering maybe even doing some live shows and having you guys, chat, and we can go back and forth on some things. I always have a hard time scheduling things like that, which is why I haven't tried to do it. But I'm flexible and I'm looking to do more things. My goal for the channel for this year is to get to 5,000 subscribers. I think that's a stretch because I'm 1,370-ish away right now. 1,370, it would be a good year for me. A really good year for me. I'm usually, well, you can probably figure it out. I'm usually like 1,000 or so per year. Well, if I started in 22, 2 years and 8 months or so, and I'm at 3,600, so maybe 1,200, let's say, for a year would be kind of a good year. But I'm not sure if as you get bigger, it gets easier to get bigger, or if you get bigger at the beginning and then slow it down. I'm not sure which way it works, but 5,000 is my goal. So spread the word, if you would, if you like the channel and you have wargaming buddies or something, let them know. Let them know to check it out. Maybe they'll subscribe, and that'll help boost my number. 5,000 is my goal. Realistically, if I can get to 4,500, that would be exciting. As I said, I'm at 36, 32 or 3 right now, so we'll see where we get to. But once again, I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys interacting with me via comments. That's always welcome. I really do my best to answer. Sometimes I feel like people are trying to goad me a little bit, so I may not reply to that right away. But I try to take it in a good spirit, and the vast majority of comments are always positive. Whether it's pointing out that I did something wrong, or saying, oh, I enjoyed it, or I have the game and they have a story. Comments with stories are really cool, and I enjoy listening to or reading really other people's experiences with games. Maybe they have a tie to what that game was about, or something like that, right? That human connection is really cool, and I enjoy the comments. So please continue to comment, and I appreciate all the commenting you've done in the past. Also share, subscribe, etc. Like I always say, that's always very appreciated as well. So thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great 2025, and I hope the channel does well in 2025 as well. Let's all get through the year and have a great year and come out of 25 in better shape than we started it. So that's my wish for everyone, and hopefully you'll have a great year of gaming. And that's going to do it. I'm Joe. This is the Hexed Countered Channel, and as I always say, happy gaming.